Well, I'm in the final preparations now of this project, getting ready to take it and load everything up into the van, make the trip to Vermont, where I'll be meeting with a construction crew who's going to bring a truckload or so of dirt for me for the installation process. It's been a unique process for me working on this in that I'm doing an installation that I can't really practice run. It's cost prohibitive. I don't have the site where I can build this giant berm. I can't really do it at my house. So there's a a little bit of unknown that sort of goes into it. Gonna have to be a little bit fluid to see what happens as I get to the space. It'll be very specific to the space that I'm working in, which I think is something that they were interested in seeing me address in my work anyway. So I think that's a good thing. But it is a little unnerving. That idea of surprises is kind of fits in with how this has all worked out anyway. Sort of the unexpected turns that this project took. And the best analogy I can think of for what I think it'll feel like going there in doing the installation is I had the largest berm in Petersburg, which is in the video, the last videos that I showed to you, the berm video. I'd seen that berm a lot from the exterior, from the road, and realized the massive size of it. I mean, you drive around this thing, it's a quarter mile of driving to get away from it, and it was already pretty impressive as a sculptural sort of object and as an entity on its own. But I went on a ride with my father. He took me on a four-wheeler, and we went riding across his property and hit the backside of this berm, and we rode up on top of it. And in the video, you see him walking up to the top and directing me around and sort of showing me how they built it, talking to me about that space. And when you get to the top of this thing, it's just unfathomable. It's as if you've entered a whole other space that you didn't even realize existed. You can't see either side of it. It's as if you're on this just infinite flat plane. You can sort of see eventually where the fields are lower than you, but the width of this thing at the top is really crazy to think about the massive amount of earth that was moved just so that they could get to what was underneath there as a resource to build our houses, to build our roads, to do those sorts of things. So I feel like driving to Vermont this time is going to be a bit like walking to the top of that berm, not quite sure what's going to be up there when I get to the top. I have a good idea. I think it'll be positive. I think it'll be something impressive. And I hope that the surprises that come are good ones. Thanks for following along, and I'll be sure and post some good documentation of what's happening as the installation process happens.